Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? Everybody is okay?
Yeah.
Wonderful. It is wonderful. Really wonderful. Niji chimbo to danyi mekin zoni maham chimbo nga jatap. Pekarta ngan sen tu sharma do donba tu je chan la survande. Shoma chu je inje porane tu son son je kanjo ngohonya ronsen chu ko ngansu tanze. Zabla me shabla sorvande dosun roblo na chula yor dosun roblo na chula dosun roblo na chula yor. Good morning, and of course we are continue, and today is the verse we say. The yesterday. It is imbued with wisdom, Lord VAJRASATTVA is identical in nature with your own compassionate root teacher. And compassionate root teacher, it is like the power of the external support, and inner our power of the support is compassion principally, but also of course basically to maintain the natural state, and compassion is like an inner power of the support. Through this we rely on external power of the support, Lord VAJRASATTVA as root teacher, and his mind reach out to you and to all beings with great love. That is the kind of the symbolic qualities in the compassionate root teachers, wisdom perspective. It reaches out all like sentient beings. There's nothing excluded. Everything is included. And not the kind of the only the rich, the wisdom mind is rich, but same time as like same as the sunlight touch, same times there is a heat. Like this, the compassion, the love is naturally there is. And if our sentient beings, if we want to get this luminosity or light of the compassionate root teacher's wisdom, and the wisdom, luminosity or light of the root teachers all the time and shine out spontaneously, permanently, we say, it's like kind of the sun. Sun is there, and impartially there are luminosity, light is there. Therefore, the VAJRASATTVA, as we teachers say, that kind of the wisdom is impartial, and not like a kind of the, conceptually or something is like biasedly, not. It's like kind of, it doesn't matter hell or heaven. It doesn't matter Buddha, Bodhisattva, or sentient beings. And equally, and permeatedly, and rich. And at the same time as whoever to get this light, there is the heat benefit. That is the part of the qualities we call the great love and compassions. When we are follow the teachers, we catch and mamic, I don't know, mamic, M-I-M-I-C, mamic. And like kind of the imitating, we are imitating to the teachers and how he or she studied, and also how like he or she applied their own path. And we want to be rich to level of our own teacher's level. And then it's like we study from he or she's wisdoms, and to get the qualities of the wisdoms, and the same time as magnificent transforming into our minds, that is the blessing, love, compassions. And when we are rely on the teacher, follow up the properly, correctly, more fast to be enlightenment, more quickly, more like kind of correctly, like this. Therefore, we say it's like to shine the teacher's wisdom, same time as we also can receive blessing by the compassion. This compassion is how it is we receive, like as sunlight. And teachers may be specifically, this student contact to me, this student not contact to me, these sentient beings I want to help, these sentient beings not, I don't want help. Not this kind of partialities. It's like the teacher or the Vajrasattvas, when enter into their own path, they generate bodhicitta, and in the middle they are meditate on the bodhicitta, finally realize the bodhicitta, like a kind of the artificial, unartificial, pure, and it's like kind of the absolute, like bodhicitta is manifested their minds. Then it's extraordinary. And then is this, when the teachers apply start bodhicitta, and when they are practiced bodhicitta during the true accumulation merit, and that is like generating true the bodhicitta, intention bodhicitta, and application bodhicittas, automatically during the true accumulations, accumulation merit, wisdoms, same time as itself is purified to obscuration, cognitive defilement obscurations. And then gradually they purified this kind of the two kayas, dharmakaya aspect and the rupakaya aspect. And finally, and reach the manifest or shine, emerging is from the adventitious obscurations, and these two kayas, self-benefit dharmakaya, and others benefit rupakaya. Like yesterday I said the sambhogakaya. Then these qualities shine out. Then it's like a jewel, like a sun, like a kind of wishing, fulfilling jewels. And whoever connected, whoever rich and can natural, automatically receive the benefit. Therefore, we are like kind of root teacher of Vajrasattvas. And like this, as the power of the regret in this present call to the mind, all the negative actions, you can think of that. Maybe this is like a little bit the translations different, okay? In the Tibetan sentences, much down. But here he said, you have accumulated until now. What we accumulated until now, we accumulated a lot of negative actions. We are like accumulate, or we did a lot of negative actions. Then the consequence is obscurations. Yesterday we say it's like karmic, like kind of the causalities, or like kind of the coding the karmic negative actions. And then it's like through the defilement, we say it's like the disturbing emotions, negative actions. And also it's like a conceptual, like kind of negative actions means conceptual negative action. Maybe it's like our wisdom is wrong. Maybe it's like a lot of mistake things. And impermanent things holding the permanence. Virtues, maybe non-virtue. Something is like intellectually or conceptually, it is something to do negative things. This is also negative, the obscuration of the negative. And also habitual tendencies, like habitual tendency is like negative actions. Like according the, like we can do say wolf, hawk, cats, like this sort of the animals, like also even the humans, when they're born, you don't need to teach, you don't need to tell to them. Automatically, all the times, how I can to kill, how I can to disturb, how I can to stole, all the times doing the negative actions automatically. This is like kind of the maturation of the habitual patterns is coming back like this. Therefore, there is a different negative actions. Then it's a create, we call the obscurations. There's obscuration of the karmic obscuration and the defilement obscuration, conceptual obscuration, and habitual tendencies obscurations. And that we accumulated, these obscurations accumulate a lot enter right now. In samsaric existence after another is like kind of the since time without beginnings. That is the truth. We don't know really when we were, when we was or were wandered into the samsara. Which kind of the centuries? Maybe it's centuries you cannot. Maybe trillions, billions years before. Maybe countless. There is said the since time without beginning. And when it is like kind of we are wandered into the samsara, cyclic existence, we don't know that. Maybe we are just a few lifetimes. Maybe also only this life. I'm really not sure. But 100% is like many times we are born again and again, existence after another existence. Like this. The 10 negative actions of the body, speech, mind. 10 negative action is related to the action of the body. Action of the body, we already know that, like 10 negative actions, like killing, stealing, doing sexual misconduct. Speech, like a liar and harsh word, and then it's gossip. And like this, then it's like and in the mentally, it's like kind of the, how do we say, it's envious. And then it's like kind of all the time how I can to do some bad things. If someone is like bad happened, it's automatically happy. This kind of harm, like kind of the wish. and then it's like kind of the wrong view. This is like kind of the 10 negative actions related to the body, speech, and mind. Then in the specifically, and we would to say it's like through the body, speech, mind, there are like a kind of, yes, that last time we, and the both says like a natural, the negative actions, and some is the violation of the Buddha's ethic. This like kind of, here is the more like kind of natural, and also it is like kind of the violation of the ethics, like a kind of negative actions. He said 5 crimes with immediate retribution, and that is, I think, at least you know there is, you can to say the type 5 times with immediate retribution. Say this crime is an extremely bad crimes. Immediate retribution means retribution, punishment. After just we are die, there is no like a kami pardo and pardo of dharmata, something. Immediately we reborn in the Vajra hells. For instance, if you kill the father, mother, like a heart, so on, there is, you can do this list. I think I don't need to say, very easy, you can to Mr. Google the very easily, okay? The 5 like kind of the crimes with the immediate retribution. What is called the immediate retribution? Because it is like the worst crime and the worst negative actions. There is no kind of between something immediately going to Vajra hell. Then 4 serious faults. 4 serious is like kind of you can to also to look the like kind of heavy set. For instance, if you are like kind of the to sit on the highest of the Bodhisattvas, this is one that is very heavy and very serious fault. And if you like kind of the eat food, retreaters food, for example, sometimes the yogis, when they go into the retreat, then they have like kind of the idea or like schedules. Maybe this kind of food I can to manage 1 month, 2 months. Then during this I want to make retreat. We go to there to enjoy, to eat with them, and then it's like the retreat yogi cannot to make a retreat in the middle of the like kind of retreat. You need to stop. Therefore, this sort of very serious and very heavy, like the 4 faults. And then it's like there is 8 perverse acts, as it perverse, and this is like kind of the opposite. It you say is like, oh, karma is not existence. It is like a perverse you act, or like kind of no rebirth. This is perverse act. This sort of no existence of the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. If you like can do this is positive use, the perverse say virtue. Virtue you perverse and negative things. This kind of the perverse, like saying like kind of the contradict way. This kind of, there are 8 perverse acts. And maybe this is also you can to numbers. Probably you can to memorize in your notes, and to have some notes is wonderful. If you know that, then you sometimes, that is the heavy serious fault. That is the 8 perverse. I don't want to do like this. Then all transgression of the external vow of the patimokkha. And also it's like external, the kind of the vows of the patimokkha. And patimokkha's vows is like kind of the Buddha's ethic. And it's like kind of the, if you are like follow up the patimokkha, there is like kind of the 8 different class of the like patimoksha taker of the vows. And then is each individual, there is a different categorization of the vows. And this is like, of course, there are, if you are really to look properly, there is like in Khenpo Ngakchung's the explanation of the commentary. And maybe I think it's like we today is like kind of to the list to write down something like this. I think it's take time. We haven't got much time. But if you want to, like monks, like for example, monks like first is like kind of the we call the beginners, like a beginner is like a novik or something. I don't know, but the first monks we call the gesser, and then it's like a gelon. Then you gelon message. Then it's like this kind of the sotarije. So there's a different classification of the patimoksha's vow, like 8. And this maybe is like all is like together the vow more than the 250 something, the different vows. This one inside, of course, included there's the 5 crime of the immediate retribution, 4 serious faults, 8 verse act, and this include there's like they have like this. And then is inner bodhisattva's precepts. Of course, there is like also is a according bodhicitta. When you take the bodhicitta vows, according the intention bodhicittas, according the application bodhicittas, there are different like the vows in the bodhicittas, like principally 18 bodhicittas precepts. And this, whatever we are like kind of the transgressions and downfalls, and then it's like also this is like a violation of the Buddha's ethic, and also this is maybe some of them is like natural negative action, and also ethic like kind of the negative actions is can occur the both same times. Also, for instance, like you killing, if like ordinary persons to killing is natural negative actions only. If you monks, nuns, like if you have already vows of the patimoksha or bodhisattva or secret mantra yanas, then you have both natural negative action. Top of there is like the violation of Buddha's edict, and very heavy. And also it's like kind of you take like kind of ordinary persons. If you don't kill, okay, you are not killer, you are not stolen, it's very good, but there is nothing kind of you are coming virtues. But if you have vows like patimoksha's vow, and according to the bodhisattva or secret mantra's vows, you say it's like I don't want to kill. Then if you not kill, you are like kind of just to like keep the vows. There is the automatically virtues, natural. For instance, if you say it's like, oh, I never ever kill the lion, I want to take vows. If you say I will never kill the tiger or the lion, probably you never. But you take these vows and you have this virtue, because vows is like indivisible, like forms transform from you, from your like kind of power of the support. You have some is like the virtues, because according the vows like this, someone is like can take, in the word of my perfect teachers, and it says like someone says like and during the day I never do like kind of sexual misconduct, I will do the during night. And then it's like during the day you take a power like vows, you are like kind of happy, some in the hell, and one bodhisattva visited, And then it's in the evening and going to hell or something, such suffering. In the morning, change the situation, very happy, and this. In the evening, like kind of the change other. Why? This because like you took vows during the day. Like this is like vows is very, very important to vows. If we without vows, if you're not killing, not stealing things, you are nothing kind of coming virtue, but of course no negative, but just normal. If you take vows and then you are not doing nothing, but the virtue is automatically there is. Like this kind of different. And then it's like the secret like Tantra Samaya of the Vijidara, so all the ordinary promises that you have not kept. And here is like a kind of the secret tantras. There are millions of samayas. It's a kind of the vows, according the Vijidaras. Vijidaras of the like the secret tantra is practitioners. We call the Vijidaras because they are like kind of the holding, maintain their own individual awareness, Ripa. And according to this practice, there are such samayas. Of course, there are a lot, but also like principally, if you are not against it, your root teacher's body, speech, mind, this is most, but there are, if you look at the Kembo Ngakchons, Kembo Ngongpazons, there's a little bit more. There is a list, no explanation, but there are list. Can you check a little bit principally? Like when you are like samayas, authentic, when you receive empowerment of the 5 Buddha families, each families, for example, you receive the Vajra families, according that you have samayas. You receive empowerment, Rena Sambhava is according like this, Pema Sambhava, Karma Sambhava, and the Dharmadat, like among us. So each Buddha families, like empowerment we received, according that there are samayas. Therefore, it's like quite a lot. But if we can to practice pure perception and like this, maybe more it's like easily. But if we are transgressions, then of course it's a very, very dangerous. Mahayana, like secret tantras, samaya broken, and then it's like there's no kind of the different destinations, only in the hell. Sometimes he says like the Mantarayana path is like same as our Christianities. There's 2 ways, heaven or the hell. Sometimes they say that because if you samaya broke, not samaya broke, definitively you go heaven, and you broke samaya, there's hell. But anyway, it's like also according that when we confess these 3 things, Patimokkshas and Bodhisattva and the secret Mandarayana. Like Patimokkha, if you broke a transgression, these vows, it's almost like, how do you say, it's like ceramic, something vase is broken. Ceramic vase you broken, you cannot to repeat again. It's like kind of banana tree. You cut it, never grow up again. And Bodhisattva vows like kind of some jewels vows. Some jewels vows you broken, but if you have a super good look, you get to repeat back more easy. And secret Mantrayanas, yesterday we talking about, before the 3 years, if you really deeply to like kind of the confess or something, this is very much gold or silver vase you broken. Very easily it's like to confess can purified. And therefore, of course, it's like you broken, it's like more heavy than the secret Mantrayana, then the Bodhisattva, then more light is the Patimokkha. And to reappear, to like kind of the confess, that is like more difficult about the Patimokkha. And then the Bodhisattva, very easy, the Vajrayanas, like Samaya, this is like this. And then there's another things, we are negative actions, natural, or the ordinary permasat that you have not kept. Sometimes it says, are you permasat? Can you really? Oh yes, my God, I swear. But liar. Later we are like kind of break up. This sort of also is there's negative nature. All the liars you have told and everything you have done, that is like kind of the shameful things to other sentient beings' perspective. Dishonorable self. This also is like to other sentient beings' perspective. Or maybe like some harmful things to done yourself also is negative actions. That also is like very much shameful. Or I did something, now I destroyed myself. It's shameful. Maybe it's like our own self is like kind of things happen. Of course, if we done some, it's like not very good things to others. Yes, there is the negative 100%, like this. And another, there's a kind of a lot of different negative actions. Now it's like the front of the power of the teacher as the Vajrasattvas, how we are like kind of the regretting to say, feel that you are confessing them. All in the teacher Vajrasattva's presence, the front of that, your whole body breaking out in goose flesh. And goose flesh is like kind of the really shame, and like kind of it's like small hair is like a kind of grow up, and really I did some is like inconceivable negative things, and really like a body is like inside kind of very special feeling, like this sort of goose flesh with shame, fear, and remorse. Remorse is like absolute from deep confessions. And like this, you can be sure that during all those infinite lives in the samsara, you have done many negative actions that you cannot remember. Maybe we cannot remember something on the lifetimes, but we actually say how much I done. And I want to really to confess and remorse right now, to say like this is kind of enough. So confess them all to saints, to say how we can say. I'm keeping nothing secret, obviously. Like a kind of I'm opened my mind, nothing kind of the keepings. I'm hiding nothing kept, like something. Everything is declaration. Now we need to declare it. Oh, I did this and that. It's quite difficult, yes. If we be the front of our root teacher, I did like this, I done that like this. It's quite difficult to declare it. I'm hiding nothing. I'm confess openly, honestly, determinedly. Ask for the forgiveness. We need this like kind of recite sentences. I'm keeping nothing secret. I'm holding nothing. I'm confess openly and ask forgiveness. And have compassion on me. Can you please think me kindly, root teacher or the Vajrasattva, right away, quickly, at this very moment and in this very place. Cleanse and purify me of all my negative actions and obscurations, so that not a single one remains. That is look. And in the some confession prayer says like, I need to quickly to confess right now. I want to really openly and nothing kind of hiding, nothing kind of keeping, everything's quickly. Because if I'm not hurry up, not confess, and if I'm dying with my negative action, obscurations, maybe next time maybe I will never have a chance. Now I have a chance. It's like times, this time, this moment, I wanted to purify all my negative actions and obscurations. This is very important to hurry up, to quickly, to do this Om Benza Sato Hon. I want to confess what I done as the power of the resolve. Then is the resolve resolutions. How you can do is like to power of the resolution. Think until now. I have like kind of accumulated those harmful negative actions because of my ignorance and confusions. Now it's like maybe Vajrasattva, the teacher says, why you done so much negative actions? Now you have very much obscuration. Why? What happens? Yes, therefore I'm confessing, because and like kind of the since beginningless time until now, I have lot accumulated under those like harmful negative action. Harmful is that hurting to the sentient beings, this kind of actions. Why? Because of my ignorance, because of my confusions. According that I did. Maybe now it's like kind of the according to our root teachers, I have opened my wisdom eye. Then it's the what is right, what is the wrong. I have like this. My ignorance slowly disappeared, and then I'm not very much confusion. My confusion of the obscuration is more disappeared. Then it's like, therefore, then in the future, Jetsa Malaripa says, like, I have virtue thoughts. Then I can confess, I can purify all my negative action result of the obscurations. That is like kind of, and now I have now understand my ignorant. Now I understand according to ignorance how much I done negative actions, and then how much I have obscurations. Therefore I have a lot of confusions, and then according to confusion I act a lot of negative. Now I confess all of them, thinking the virtues, how I can to apply the antidote. I need to find a great resolution to stop negative. Promised in the future, I don't want to do like that. Like he says, but now, according to ignorant confusions, now bye-bye ignorance, bye-bye my confusion, because I am enhanced by my own root teachers. And now I recognize my ugly ignorance. I recognize my ugly confusions. And we are like complain to our own ignorance, our own confusion. Now never ever you are the ignorance, confusion, never be with me, we say. And I have like kind of the the bow of my faith, devotion, and the kind of follow up to the teacher, and I have the perfect arrow of the aura instruction of my root teachers. Whenever my enemy of the ignorance and confusion can, I will shoot, I will destroy it to use it. But now, thanks to the compassion of the kind teacher, I know what is the beneficial and what is the harmful. This is the right and the wrong. This kind of distinctions, knowledges. Now I can to each moment, each like kind of timers, I have this kind of the more open my mind, more open my wisdoms. I'm very happy. Now it's like slowly my enemy of my own ignorance, my confusions, there's no chance to stay in my home of the mind. And therefore now it's like I know that Thanks of my compassionate root teacher say, yes. And I will never commit them again, because never is means never. Saying is like direct fingers put to the eyes of the ignorance, confusions. Before you order to me to do the negative actions. When I do the negative action for you, who is the ignorance, confusions, and then I have the defects, a lot of obscurations. Therefore, I must years, endlessly, I'm wandered into the samsaras. Now I recognize how it is you are, ignorance, confusion. I never ever, I committed, if you are order me to do some negative things, never say, ignorant, confusion, so ugly boss, so ugly, terrible boss, go away, again, never against. Even if it cost me my own life, I never follow the ignorance, confusion. I never do again any kind of negative actions. This is virtual mind. This is virtual thoughts. Then it's like the resolution is, power of the resolution is a fantastic, absolutely good. Not yet, yes? Huh? No time. Okay, like this. And then it's a keeping in mind the pure meaning of the visualization. And very pure means it's like utterly, not artificially, and honestly, not dishonestly. And really it is like pure means this sort of, like we said, the power of the support, like in the power of the support externally, innerly, and the power of the resolution, and like a power first, the second power of the regret, second is like kind of power of the resolutions, all this, and also is like the power of the keeping antidote. These things is like kind of to keep purely, and meaning of the visualization of the Vajrasattva. Recite the root text starting from, like here's Adonyan Tama Hyur, Pekat Dentyu, Holy Lama Dorjis, Kasalon Hyu Zopuk, Dorjetans and Hymn mantles. This is in the longer Hundru, Chancy Wuziers. This insight. Yesterday I told you there is like kind of full get secret Mantayana sculptures. Then it's like this is the when you say Adonyan Tama Hyur. Then this word, maybe now it's like you are phonetic, you're reading it, but sometimes you can't read your own language. This is how you can to generate the visualize Vajrasattva. All in these prayers, they are saying to you, to supporting to your meditation. And there's the end of the Malushamanzit source, he said in translation, I am in my ordinary form and above my heart. This is the same is explanation in the prayers. This is absolutely same. The end Malushamanzit so on Benzasatos purified me until not a single one remain. Then we say recite mantra on Benzasato Samaya Manipal. Then it's like during the mantra recitation, 100 sleepy mantra recitations, you need to clearly visualize and the Vajrasattvas. Here is like a very easy thing. Single deity is the Vajrasattvas and the Vajratopi. And also and the Vajratopi's explanation, there is Shajipe Makazon Rinpoche. Yesterday I said something, there's not much detailed, but Vajratopa is like you can see is very easily, okay? And like this. Then this with consort, how it is the pouring to the like armanta and nikta, and how you can to purify it, and these things is also like this. But it's coming to the down, like easily to how it's the purified, we can to say. Now more explanations. Then in the heart of the Vajrasattva, it's very easy, in the heart of the Vajrasattva, who is indivisibly united with his consort Vajratopa together. Visualize a lunar disk no bigger than a flattened mustard, like a kind of mustard seeds. The size, here is the size. The round is the circle, is exactly kind of the moon disk, lunar disk. There's no kind of any mistake, defect. The size of the like mustard seed, like you flat this can, in the level of the your Vajrasattva's heart and the Vajratopa's heart, both like heart. And open it a white horn. Top of there, one is a white horn. As fine as it is had been drawing with a single hair. Very, very tiny. Top of there is like kind of the, single hairs, right? You are painting times, like a kind of the not thick paintings. It's like one single hairs you write, and very, very tiny, like the stem, or I don't know, this like line, this letter home, like this kind of time. Then as you recite the 100 syllable mantra once on Benza Samayas, then on Vajrasamayas, the Benza Sato, here is Vajrasattva Samaya. This is like kind of the European, Indo-Europeans phonetic, and also it's like, I'm not sure, it's like Vajrasattva Samaya. In Tibet it's like Benzasattva Samaya, but it's which one is no problem. I think it's this is like Vajra and Benza is same meaning, but like this. Then so on, you read 100 syllable mantra and visualize its syllable arranged around the horn in the circles. This is like in the middle is like a horn, and then is the round. It is like kind of the old 100 syllable mantras. And also there's none of them touch each other like a horn of the cattle when they are standing close together. This is like kind of you horn is a cattle horn you put together, they never stick each other, like a kind of the like ups, not touched, never mixed, never like kind of the merge each other, and like this sort of like this, and to surround together. Then recite the 100 syllable mantras, as a prayer. Imagine at the same time as that Anita of the compassion and wisdom like drop down from each of the syllables. Like each syllable is like Nita is a kind of the coming down. And the 100 syllable mantras, principally of course later on. And then one is like kind of the glastiming drop after another sip, and like kind of the melting one, like kind of the drop, like kind of the how do you say, it's like a leaking like kind of on the roof, some water is leaking down, like this kind of way. Another like water dropping down from ice, and it's the melt near a fire. That is like kind of the example. If you put ice near that like kind of fire, then it's a heat of the fires, melting is a water, then it's like drops coming like this from through the Vajrasattva, Vajratopa's heart, through come that and to into the our like in the center, this stem of the flowers, like moon, like sink through white flower, and then is like stem or the trunk, and then it's going into the our like in the central channel, the nita like a boring or like down. And then it's like he said, like the pouring down through the body of the Vajrasattva and Vajratopa, both with consort. The nectar emerges from the point of the union of the deity and Vajrasattva and Vajratopa with consort, and the passing through the crown of your head, through like kind of the tongue, the follows into the you, true, and into all other sentient beings, also the truth. But yourself is like kind of the representative of the sentient beings. Maybe it is like kind of the Vajrasattva is a representative of all the deities. Yourself is the representative of the sentient beings. And then is through this nitas and into coming to you, you purified this like kind of the all the sentient beings, obscurations. You like kind of the representative, the your like obscurations. You like kind of the purified. Then it's like a flow into the you, into the all your like kind of the other sentient beings. That means it's like this too. Like the particularly of the earth being washed away by the powerful streaming. Like kind of this is like a powerful, maybe like a water flourish is something is coming, and then it's like under the earth, like a kind of all the dirty garbage is then take away by like powerful waters. It is like this washed away by the powerful stream, like stream water. And all your the physical illness are the flushed out in the form of the rotten blood and pus. And then it's like nectar coming through the central channel. Then inside all your sickness and like kind of problems physically. That is the representative, included all the sentient beings. It is like a kind of your dirty and like kind of sick things are. It's like coming out from your under the door, and principally the two door, and then is others also go into the like kind of the earth, like they are the blood pus, like this. This is the representative, the sickness. All the negative force are the expelled in the form of the spider, scorpions, toad. Like spider, you don't know. Scorpion, you know. Toad is a frog. Big frog, like this size. Fish, snake, tadpoles. Tadpole is like the, how do you say, salmon. And like lars. And the like, and the all harmful actions and obscurations is like black liquid. Like it kind of the dust, smoke, cloud, and wet poos. And this sort of like kind of thing, everything's like we say it is, it's like the wash away by the like powerful streams. Here is the wash away by the like pouring that this nita comes from the Vajrasattva with consort. And then it's coming out like when we are washing our chinmees, and a lot of black is coming like this. Exactly one under our chinmees. It's like kind of coming out all the negatives, illness, obscurations. It's like kind of the form of like this. Maybe some is like kind of the papers, they have a doubt. How it is. Maybe those are also sentient beings. It is like how my obscuration, negative, dirty things, how they need to become this kind of animals, like a spider, scorpion, toad, fish, snake, so on. But like form of like this sort of, not necessarily something is sentient beings, looks like moving, but looks like form. And it's this sort of we need. And also it's like, how do you say, they are going to through like down the earth, and also under the earth someone's like waiting for that ether said. But that is also maybe it's not necessarily some sentient beings, but we kind of the like example it's like this. All this is like the carried away by the irreversible flood, and like kind of the irresistible flood of the nita, and pours out of your body as the black shower through the low orifice, the sole of your feet, and all the pores of your skin. Of course, there are millions of pores of your in the skin, and from this kind of different holes, everything is going out, and particularly under the, how do you say, the sole of the feet, and then it's like principally under the doors, and then is of course there is a different kind of the pores on the skins, and everything is like kind of go out, and then is going to into the earth. The earth beneath you opens. You opened up, and in there is death opens, Lord of the death. The Lord of the death, Lord, I don't know, they added. Is the anyway, it's like death. There is like kind of, normally we can to say it's like kind of black hole. Maybe it's like there is a kind of the like how do you say, it's like when we have depths, and then we pay the owners looking for us. Oh, you are launched from me, now can you give me, all the time waiting like this. There is like we are doing the negative things and to harmful things. Of course we need to repay. Maybe we killed, maybe we stole, maybe we did like this kind of negative things. Of course then they reventure, we need to pay something to back them. And this is the karma causalities. Now it's like we are paying like back. Maybe our like kind of the dirty purified this all the illness, sickness, obscurations, negative these things is imagined, is become the representative of something to pay back what we need. Like this is like Pierre the Lord of the Death. Like personification of your past actions. This is like kind of the personification of your past actions. This is like kind of your past. Some is like kind of the debt you did. If you kill, then you need to pay back what you murdered. And these persons like personifications of your past actions, surrounded by all the male and female beings to whom you own karmic debts, absolutely that, and all those who are seeking to venge. This is a short venge, and vengeance, I think, is like normally revenge. Of course, we are like thief, stolen, something did negative things to other sentient beings. They need to repay to us. Like if you kill, we need to pay our life 100, 500 times. We need to die again and again like this. Venge is short. I think it's venge itself never existed in the dictionary, but vengeance may be short. And like this, themselves and your flesh. Maybe we need to pay back flesh. Maybe we need to pay back the blood past. And like this sort of, this like imagine, like going out these things, and also who's the eater of the Lord, death. This kind of the images, they not necessarily some sentient beings to be there eating our dirty things. This is not really compassionate, and this is not necessary, but this is a kind of the examples. And while you recite the 100 syllable mantra, visualize all those impurity pouring down into their open mouth and into the hand and arm. They raise expectantly towards to use it. They of course expectantly towards you means, yes, give me, you need to repay me. Where is my like kind of lunch? You took from me food, clothes, money. You killed. Now I need to punish or use it. This sort of like revengers, like kind of that they are looking for us, showing the harm, open the mouth and raise like kind of the expectantly towards to us. Then we are giving to them like kind of. If you can visualize the whole process like simultaneously, that is absolutely, if simultaneously, if you can do the meditate on all this process, Vajrasattvas, everything. And otherwise, if you cannot say this, visualize, cannot, you can like alternate as you recite the mantra. For instance, sometimes concentrated on the body of the Vajrasattva, his face, hand, ornament, cloth, and later all any kind of piece, maybe jewel, like some is like piece you, maybe from the heart of Vajrasattva, then like kind of the cameras zoom, you make it bigger and bigger and bigger, then you can do everything is under your visualizations. And like this kind of the visualization is very difficult, but the numbers, the aspect of what we need to visualize, there's many details, same and spontaneously is coming into this image. It's very difficult, but maybe if we exercise, maybe first time Vajrasattva's nose, maybe Vajrasattva's head, maybe Vajrasattva's heart level, maybe Vajra, bell, and something, one part of Vajrasattva, then is we can to extend it slowly to a line. Maybe one day we can to sometimes to meditate like this, the aspect of all this object, like this, focal object. Like this. Then is sometimes on the ornament of the cloth of the Vajrasattvas, and like this. And sometimes on the floor of the Nita, like purified illness, negative force, evil actions and obscuration. What we said is like Nita is flourish through, go through the like our body center channels, and all these things is like purified illness, negative force, actions, obscurations, is like wash away the very strong streams, like this way. And also sometimes on you are regard for that you have done, and your the resolve like never to repeat it. Sometimes like kind of the different meditate on the power of the powers. Maybe resolution, maybe it's like kind of the regret, antidote, this one like kind of alternately you kind of the exercise your mind like this, and you can, and maybe it's also okay. Okay, we can to stop for the coffee 5-10 minutes or 10 minutes coffee.